Hey guys, and thank you for joining me for what might turn out to be a rather long update video. It's been sort of a weird year, so I've tried to write down some notes about things to try and keep on track of what I have to talk about. But basically this is sort of two updates combined into one. I just ended up, by the time I'm doing this, it ended up becoming one big one, so you'll have to bear with me if there's not a whole lot of interesting information that sort of pertains to you. But I've got a few things that I want to talk about, so I guess the easiest place to start is basically where I've been the past 6-ish months. So, as most of you should know, that I was in university and trying to earn my bachelor's degree in information technology. And basically the first half of this year I had only one class because of the way that the schedule worked out. The other classes that I needed weren't offered in that semester, which meant that I had to do one last semester and 3 this semester. And it was already a 3-year course that I'd turned into a 4-year course by dropping subjects here and there and basically extending my stay. So it was kind of annoying that I couldn't do more last semester and instead had to sort of pile it all on this semester. But basically I had some pretty intense classes this last semester. I had a maths class which turned out to be really difficult, a class called information security, which is all about, there's a lot of work in Linux and encryption and that kind of thing, and it sounds more interesting than it was, and that was a very frustrating class. And I had another class that I really enjoyed that was mobile application development. I really like programming, so that was a really good class for that one. So that one was okay, but the other two were pretty meh. And maths has always been basically my weakest subject. Like I do quite well in all the other ones, but maths I'm always just sort of average or slightly below average, and it's just too much for me. I don't know what it is, basically. But so what kind of happened was I wanted to focus more on my studies, because I felt bad, doing videos that took up a lot of time, because if a video goes for like 40 minutes, I have to edit it. It takes about 2 hours to edit it because I try and get every little bit just right, and I often get distracted, so I have to keep playing the same part over and over and over again just to make sure that there's no embarrassing like loud sounds or anything in it. So I felt bad if I was working on that and not putting that much time into my uni studies. So I wanted to focus more on that. And of course it didn't always end up that way. I would often play video games and that kind of thing and just find anything else to do. But I didn't feel as bad just playing a couple of games here and there, whereas when I film videos I have to set aside a lot of time and that kind of thing. It felt different anyway. So basically I ended up sort of neglecting videos a bit while I was trying to work on uni and get that finished and that kind of thing. And well, long story short, I tried my hardest in my maths class because, as I said, I knew I was going to struggle at that the most. So I put way more time into that than probably any subject I ever have. I did every homework question and every quiz and took notes for every lecture, which I've never really had to do before, just to make sure I was getting it done, And then exams came, and I thought I went in pretty confident because I studied hard for it. I'd done the practice exam and got a lot of that right, and my notes were, I was allowed to take in notes for the exam, and they were very well put together. I'd filtered through all the things that I thought I needed help with in the exam and just put those on my notes and made it very clear with a couple of examples where I could. And then I get into the exam, and it was the last one, of course, out of my 3, and the other 2 I was pretty nervous about, and then ended up leaving like, yeah, no, I got that. Like, there was nothing I couldn't really answer in that. And then I get into the maths one, and I have a look at the questions, and to start off with, I'm like, yeah, I know how to do all this. But then I actually started trying to do the questions, and they were like one step further than we had done in a class. So I'll see if I can find some examples in my workbook here. Because this is the workbook that I used for the maths class all year. And so it was all working with matrices, which are like the grids of numbers and that kind of thing. And for the most part, it wasn't too difficult. And then we got up to stuff like vectors, and that's, yeah. Like, have a look at this. I don't even understand this myself anymore, and it's my writing. I don't know how well you can see that. It's probably not in focus, and it's probably too far away there, but like all these vectors and square roots and dot products and cos and theta and stuff. And using axioms of the dot product, prove the parallelogram identity. A plus b squared plus a minus b squared equals 2a squared plus 2b squared. Yeah. So like, all that was pretty difficult, but I eventually got it. But then like in the exam, it was just one step beyond what we'd done. So for example, we'd been working with 2x2 matrices, and I knew how to do a lot of things involving 2x2 matrices and a few things involving 3x3. And then on the exam, they expected us to do things with 3x3 matrices that we hadn't done in class before. So it was like, I've never been taught this in all the work that I've done this year. I don't know how to do this. And basically there were 5 questions worth 50 marks all up, but it wasn't even distribution. It was like, question 1 was worth 17 or something, and question 2 was worth 12, and then the rest were worth the rest of the 50 between them. And basically I answered like 1 and a bit questions, and it was nowhere near enough to get the 50% of the marks that I needed to pass. So I left the exam very upset, because I felt that for the first time, like in all the exams I've taken, the exam was quite unfair and difficult. And honestly, like, I got quite upset and ended up crying, because not because I'd failed. I don't care about failing, because I can retake it as many times as I need, basically, but I was just so ready to be done with my degree. And this was the last thing holding me back. And it was very disappointing to myself. Like, I didn't care what anyone else thought. I didn't care that I failed. It was just the fact that I still had to be there and had to do it all again. And at that point, my options were do a resit exam and hope that they sort of wrote one that was easier that I could do. But if I failed that, I would have to resit the entire class, which means another 6 months at uni. And because of the way it's scheduled, I don't think they do it in first semester, which means I'd have to defer for half a year and then go back like July next year. And I couldn't handle that. I had considered just dropping out and being like, I don't really need this degree for anything anyway, and I'm not wasting another year on a maths class that I'm never going to use, because everything I've needed for maths I already know how to do, or I can program something to do it for me. So yeah, things were looking very, very bleak. Anyway, so what ended up happening was I emailed my tutor, the person who taught that class, and I was like, listen, I didn't do well in the exam today. What's my next step? And he said, worry about it when you get your marks. You might not have done as badly as you think, but I knew, like, there was no way I could pass that exam. I didn't have enough marks. I didn't answer enough questions. There was just blank pages everywhere, or everything scribbled out. So yeah, I was pretty upset with that for a while. And then that was like at the end of November, and we didn't get our results till maybe last week, maybe the week before. So at least 2-3 weeks between. And if I had to resit, I would have had to do it next week, like right before Christmas, which would have also been upsetting. So it wasn't looking good, and I was very disappointed because I wanted to spend time doing videos and that kind of thing and not worrying about uni. I just wanted to be finished. I just wanted to be done and have this weight off my shoulders, Anyway, then I woke up one morning and my friend had sent me a screenshot of his results because we took a different class together. And I was like, oh, great, here we go. I guess results are out. So I checked my results, and where I was expecting to see a fail or a marginal fail, I actually got a distinction, which is the second highest grade you can get for the maths class. And I was like, okay, that shouldn't be possible, because the way it works with our classes is you can do great all year on all the assignments and all the work, but if you fail the exam, you fail the class no matter what, basically. And I had spoken to 2 of my other friends that were in that class with me, and they both said, yeah, and like they were both bright as well. And I'm like, no, there's no way we passed that either. So basically, I haven't any confirmation of this or anything, but basically what that means is that the exam was so difficult that everyone must have failed in some way. So either they scaled it like incredibly to incredibly high degree factor, I guess. Scaled it up so that the curve for the marks basically brought everyone up, so that 3/4 of the class didn't fail. They either did that, or they just completely disregarded the exam and just gave us marks based on how we performed throughout the year. And because, like, for me to do that poorly on the exam and still get quite a high grade, those are the only 2 possible solutions, is that they scaled it high and so everyone did really well by comparison, or they just completely disregarded it because it was not a fair exam. Either way, I'm thankful because I passed and all my friends ended up passing. And long story short, I have finished my degree. So I graduate. My graduation ceremony is next year sometime, and then I get my degree officially, but I am all finished with classes, which is super exciting because now I can focus on my media stuff that I love doing and not have to worry about assignments and that kind of thing. And in fact, I've actually enrolled myself in some online courses that have no due dates. It's just learning for learning's sake, and I'm so keen to take control of my own learning without pressure and that kind of thing, and learn at my own pace and learn skills that I want to learn. So like programming and art and 3D modeling and stuff, and expanding my education without weighing myself down with all this crap that I don't need or won't use. So I might not look it, but I'm super excited about that. So that's basically where I've been. And then the past couple of weeks for Christmas, my hours get extended, so I've been working 3 in the afternoon till midnight every day. Well, I get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, but Monday to Thursday. And it doesn't sound like a lot of hours, but just working that late means that I don't go to bed till even later. And I'm just tired and that kind of thing, and don't have access or the time to do videos at the moment, so I've just mostly been editing older ones that I filmed a while ago. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. Finished my degree, working long hours at the moment, and basically next year I've got permanent longer hours, but I'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and I hope to be able to sort of streamline my filming on those 3 days and then editing for the rest of the week, because I bought a computer at my other household that I sort of travel between for work and living here. So yeah, basically I have access to editing wherever I am now, so hopefully that streamlines my output. We'll see. So yeah, that's where I've been, and I do apologize that all these series have been like lacking, like so slowly. Like when I uploaded Professor Layton the other day, I was like, when's the last time I uploaded this? And it was September. So there was, between September and November, there was no Professor Layton episodes. And I'm like, oh my god, this is pathetic. And I started that series in June last year, so basically I bit off more than I could chew. Starting too many series at once, not focusing, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So the next thing I sort of want to talk about was streaming on Twitch. A lot of you have probably seen my stream announcements and talking about streaming and that kind of thing, and I've done vlogs about it before, but there's been a pretty big overhaul with what I do for streaming, and I do need to talk about that. So basically, after my first few ASMR streams, I decided that I didn't want to do ASMR streams anymore because it hurt my voice to talk like this for 4 hours straight, and that was my own fault for streaming for 4 hours, but I was having a lot of fun at the time. It also felt kind of weird whispering at people live, wasn't really into that, and it kind of limited the games that I could play. So I sort of made the choice to just do regular streams, not ASMR ones, and that really sort of freed me up and made me feel better about what I was doing and let me play a lot more games and that kind of thing. And I know a lot of you have come by over the year, over the few months that I've been doing it, and it's been great to have that support, so I very much appreciate that. Even though it wasn't ASMR, which is how you originally found me. No one seemed to care, they just liked hanging out and watching the games that I was playing, so that was really good. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is if you weren't stopping by the stream because you don't want to be whispered at live, I completely understand that. But now I'm just a normal streamer and I don't scream or rant and rave or anything like that, like a lot of people do. I'm just chill and talk in a normal voice, which, if that's something you want to hear, that's plenty of that over on my Twitch. So yeah, and streaming has been going really well. I got affiliate status really quickly. Within like a month or two I started, I think, which basically means I'm not a partner, but I can get some of the benefits the partners get, like bit donations, and it's basically like 1 cent is 1 bit, and subscribers and that kind of thing, and some other cool stuff. But yeah, it was really good to get affiliate that quickly because that was kind of what I was aiming for. And it also opened up what games I could play by not doing ASMR. I could play like shooting games and Overwatch, which is one of my favourite ones at the moment, and horror games, which I also really love. And actually, there was something I was going to announce a while ago. So with the addition of being able to receive donations, I set up some goals for the donations to go towards, and the goals were Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch, and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on Steam, because I've heard that's a really good game and people wanted to see that. But yeah, one of my friends, I guess now, and long-time supporter, First Poster, really wanted me to play and get Splatoon 2, and I wasn't super into it at the time because I was never really interested in it. But I said, you know what, if you're going to donate to me, which he already had. I wasn't saying like I'll get it if you donate. He'd already donated. I was like, you know what, your money that you're supporting me with can go towards something that you want to see me play, and that was Splatoon 2. I've actually had a lot of fun playing this. I kind of suck at it still because it's quite difficult, and it kind of sucks in some ways in that it's missing basic matchmaking features, but it has a lot of game modes and a lot of ways to get cool gear and that kind of thing, and it's got quite a nice progression, like upgrade system. So yeah, I'm actually having a lot of fun with this, and I still have yet to play Hellblade, but we're getting there. And then I sort of got myself this recently. It's super lame to you and kind of like humble braggy, and I feel bad for that, but it's supposed to be like a little motivation thing for myself. So this is basically, I got an email from PayPal for my first payment from Twitch, which they pay you out after you get $100. And so over the course of a few months, I earned enough to get a payout. So I screenshot the email and chucked it in a nice frame to put on my desk to motivate me to do things that I enjoy. Playing video games and entertaining and, hanging out with people, so yeah. I don't often get sentimental enough to have photos in frames and that kind of thing, but I feel like that's a really nice little motivator for myself. And basically I have to thank the following people for their support, like on Twitch, their constant support on Twitch, their overwhelming support. And you guys have made this and my photo and Hellblade possible. I wouldn't have any of that without you guys, so a big thank you to First Poster, Ouroboros and Phalanx, Galactical Cow, Lazy May, Voodoo Man, Hunter, and Nerd Geek or Bro. And of course there are others that have supported my YouTube channel for ages with comments, lovely comments like Anna and, or Anna, not sure how to pronounce it, sorry, and Manic Pixie Nerd, and Lewis, and just so many people. Evergreen, who likes the Professor Layton series. Yeah, just all you guys make all of this possible. I would have given up on this a long time ago if I didn't have such a positive and supportive community and understanding, because I don't think any other YouTuber could get away with spanning series over the course of a year. Like 20 episodes, that's pretty bad. It's kind of worse than Game of Thrones length. So yeah, you just have no idea how thankful I am for your support, all of you. It really does mean a lot. So yeah, that was kind of the wrap up of my streaming segment of the vlog. I should probably say, I also updated my Twitch name now to sort of distance myself from ASMR so people aren't expecting ASMR when they see me stream. So I've rolled with a name that I use for a lot of online game services. So I'm now twitch.tv/Mr. McFly, because McFly was taken, so I had to put something else on there. And yeah, the link's in the description if you want to go follow that. I play a wide variety of games. I've been doing Mario Odyssey, I do a lot of horror games, Overwatch is on there a lot, but I haven't been doing that much lately. And I've played some other random one-off games here and there that I've sort of finished. But I want to do like some mobile games like Duel Links, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon battles, live Pokemon battles, because people love that. I've done some GameCube ROMs like Pokemon XD, which I still have to finish. Yeah, it's just a really fun time, so if you were just worried about, someone whispering at you, I promise not to, so come on over to the Twitch sometime. You don't have to donate or anything like that, just say hi and chat. That's the biggest thing I could ask, really. So I hope to see more of you there. And then sort of piggybacking on the end of that, I have some new channels, new YouTube channels that I'm going to be working on this coming year. One is just sort of a hub for online games that I play that I think are decent to watch, and VODs of streams. So it's just a McFly YouTube channel. The link will also be in the description for that. I won't be updating that one too regularly or doing Let's Plays or anything. It's just sort of somewhere to archive the VODs that I do on Twitch, and then like uploading any good Overwatch matches or things I have like that. So that one's not super important. Feel free to not follow that one if you don't want to. But then actually I have a music covers channel that I'm going to be working on, because most of you know I play guitar. And I've been confident enough to sort of play on stream a few times, and I've got positive reception from it, so and honestly this is sort of what all this equipment was for originally, the camera and this. I was going to do YouTube covers, but I definitely wasn't good enough back then or confident enough, but I'm starting to feel that way now. And there's a couple of good songs that I really want to play and show people that I can play and sing, so that one is called Minimum Chips, because I thought that was a cool little band name, and link for that is in the description. There's nothing on that channel at the moment, but as I said, in the coming year, I hope to like play more songs and upload them and that kind of thing. And they're not going to be like studio covers, they're going to be just me and a guitar probably and singing. So if you're into that, feel free to give that one a subscribe as well. I'm really excited about that one, so hopefully you guys are too. And then some other things I'm going to be working on this year, hopefully. Learning new songs on guitar, more hard stuff. Normally I just play rhythm and sing, and I get my friend to play lead and all the intricate bits, and we just sort of jam out together. But I'm sort of learning some harder stuff at the moment. That sounds really nice. So I want to work on my music a lot more. There's sort of like a little book that I want to write, like a little horror anthology, because back when I was taking that creative writing class and writing those horror stories, I really enjoyed that, and I've had some more ideas for little stories like that since, and I kind of want to like make my own little universe. You know how like Stephen King has his own sort of horror universe where all the stories are connected somehow. I kind of just want to write like a little anthology of short horror stories, and then like just put it up digitally for a couple of dollars or something. I think that'd be a really cool experience and something to work on in my work here, basically. And then there's some like games that I sort of want to program and work on and that kind of thing, but they're more of a time sink, so I don't think I'll get very far with those. I'll just sort of tinker within my free time. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on in regards to non-ASMR channel stuff. And honestly, I'm really excited to be able to be my own person and be free of uni and other like responsibilities and or priorities, I should say. There's a lot of things I want to work on, and now I'll actually have the time and the motivation to do it. I'm just feeling so much better now that I don't have to worry about that all the time. So I hope at least some of what I do you guys will enjoy, even if it's not necessarily ASMR. But I have a feeling we all have some pretty wide range of interests, so something should appeal to us. So yeah. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk about was where the channel's headed and what I'm doing actually for this ASMR channel, which is why you're all here. Basically, at the moment I'm working to finalise Professor Layton, Pokemon Moon and Breath of the Wild. Professor Layton I have recorded every episode for. I've finished the game, so all I have to do is upload that, edit that and upload that. But I don't want to do it all at once. I sort of want to spread it out with other videos, so there'll still be a while to finish, depending on what else I have to put out. Pokemon Moon I'm still playing, and Zelda I'm right at the start at, and my motivation for Zelda is pretty low because I actually got it on the Switch as well and finished that on stream. And then on the Wii U I'm like right back at the start, so it's hard to find motivation to play through all that again. But I'll work something out and I will finish it, because I hate not finishing series, so if it kills me, I'll finish it. And Pokemon, I'm still enjoying it. Just I'm gonna skip Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Just Alola's not my favorite, but I do want to finish Moon and that kind of thing and get back into some Wi-Fi battles. So yeah, I'm working on finalizing that so I can do some more one-off episodes of games and much shorter series of games. And I have a bunch of games already in mind that I want to do. And I'm very excited about working on those because I know you guys will like them. And actually next year there should be, don't want to promise anything, but there should be the return of a very popular series on this channel. A season 2, if you will, that I hope everyone likes. And I want to do some mobile gaming because I've been getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links again, which is like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card duels. I love that game. And I think people like the Wi-Fi battle ones, so I think they'll like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel ones as well, because I can explain what I'm doing. I can make some fun decks, some like character-based decks, like a Yugi Spellcaster deck and a Kyber Dragon deck and all that kind of thing. And, you know, collectible card games are always good for ASMR, so that should be good, I think. And then I've actually written some role plays that I just haven't acted or filmed yet, so I've got props for them and ideas and that kind of thing, so hopefully I can get onto those. Those are always just a bit harder to film because I'm not a very good actor, and I want them to feel as natural as possible, which I think I nailed with my haircut roleplay. But some of my other ones are like, probably could have acted that better. And then, yeah, I've got some activities lined up, some like general activities, ASMR activities, some maybe game reviews and that kind of thing, and the return of Horror Movie Club, which I haven't done forever. I've actually got the next episode written out right here next to me that I wrote like last year and filmed 3 times, but I was never happy with it, so I have to film that again. So yeah, it was kind of a big update video, and I do apologize for that. Basically, I would love to say that it was just me being busy all year, too busy, but if I'm being completely honest, my motivation and discipline was very low, so I'd often find myself just playing games or wasting time, not doing what I should be, which could be working on videos. And yeah, I've never been a very disciplined person when it comes to asserting myself to tasks. So yeah, while I would like to say it was just me being busy, it was a combination of me being busy and me being lazy, so I do apologize for that. But I'm super excited to get everything done now, actually. Like, really excited to actually work on my own things and that kind of thing and see you all a lot more, so. And like, even though I have barely been uploading, the channel's still been growing, and I'm so thankful for that to all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. As I said, you guys are the reason I'm still here. It's probably one of the longest hobbies that I've sort of maintained, is this, if you think that I started in like 2014 or whatever, doing this. Yeah. I'm very lucky and very privileged and very excited for what's going to be coming up, so I sincerely thank you all for everything. But enough being sappy, I think. I think that's about all I wanted to say, really, so I do apologise if none of this was interesting to you, but I still hope you've been doing well, and I appreciate you being here, so I'm going to head off and probably go to bed, and then tomorrow I've got a long day of filming some Pokemon and some Zelda and editing, hopefully, so thank you for joining me, thank you for being here for me always, and I certainly hope to see you very soon, so bye.